Dawsonville, Georgia is a smaller town in Dawson County which sits about 60 miles north of Atlanta. And according to the 2020 U.S. Census, Dawsonville's population notably increased by almost 1,100 people, a nearly 47% increase. So this begs the question, why are so many people moving to Dawsonville? Hi, I'm Sarah Mislowski with KeyPoint Homes Group, a local real estate team helping people from all over call Georgia home. We haven't talked too much about Dawsonville here on this channel before, but there has been a large influx of new residents to the area. So what makes Dawsonville so desirable? Dawsonville is really a hidden gem, and I have to admit that even I forget about Dawsonville. Dawsonville sits on the northwest end of Lake Lanier, which you've heard me talk about before on this channel. If not, you can definitely check out this video and it'll give you a whole playlist on all about Lake Lanier. One of the things you'll notice about Dawsonville lake houses is that they have a much smoother walk down to the water just because of the way that the land is there. You'll also find that many of the homes on the lake in Dawsonville have a dock permit, which if you know anything about purchasing a home on the lake, you'll know that that is a huge bonus. The Army Corps of Engineers, which controls Lake Lanier, halted dock permits. So if you want to be able to have a dock or for your boat on the lake at your house, you're definitely going to want to make sure that you find a home that already has one. Most of Dawsonville has a more mountain-like feel, and this is definitely something that you can see in the horizon whenever you are pretty much in most places in Dawsonville. And it's pretty much because, well, you're in the mountains. You're only about 20 minutes from Dahlonega, depending upon where you're at, and Dahlonega is nestled in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountain, and it is full of gorgeous waterfalls and foliage. It is definitely some really great views, and Dahlonega is so close. It is the place for hiking, and it's full of amazing wineries. It's only about 14 miles from Dawsonville, and though when you're driving through Dawsonville, many parts just kind of flow right into Dahlonega. This location is great if you have a college-age kid who is interested in attending the University of North Georgia, or if you just want to be close to the charming mountain town. If you're someone who wants to be in a more rural area where you can find a house on a little bit bigger piece of land where you aren't in an HOA and you can't see your neighbors, Dawsonville is typically on the list of places we recommend for our clients to look. Despite the fact that you are so close to the mountain and there are parts that feel much like you are in kind of like a cabin in the woods, you are still close to a ton of shopping and all the amenities you could need. In fact, I would even make an argument that Dawsonville has more growth and stores and restaurants than even Gainesville does, which is crazy considering the size of those two towns. Dawsonville has the best shopping, and part of the reason for their growth has been driven by this huge outlet mall that they have there, the North Georgia Premium Outlets. You are going to find a one-of-a-kind West Elm outlet. Then you've got Banana Republic and Taylor, Coach. They even have a restoration hardware outlet there as well. In addition to having all of those fantastic stores, you also have another shopping center right next to it that has an Ulta, Marshalls, Home Goods. They have all of the chain restaurants that you can think of, and they also have fantastic grocery stores right there, Publix and Kroger. Literally everything that you would need to go shopping is right there at your fingertips. And it's really become a really great hub and destination for all of these other outlying towns for people to come into Dawsonville to go shopping. I was talking to a friend the other day who lives in Dawsonville, and she was raving about how much she loves living there and how she just couldn't picture herself living anywhere else now that she's there. But the only thing that would make it better is if they had a Target. So we talk about Target a lot on this channel, and that is the one thing that Dawsonville does not have yet. However, I can say living in Gainesville, Dawsonville is about a 15-20 minute drive depending upon where you're at in Dawsonville, and I find myself going over there a lot to go over to the great outlets, and then they have everything just right there. It's so easy to get to. So this friend though did say that it was easy enough to come over to Gainesville or drive down into Cumming, which is a great Target there as well. So that is another great benefit of Dawsonville, is the awesome location. It sits about 25 miles north of Cumming. So you can go ahead and get down right down to that Target there if you want to, and all the other great shopping that is incoming. You can also hop on Georgia 400. That is a main corridor that really kind of ends in Dawsonville and takes you all the way down into Atlanta. And so it is a popular interstate that is heavily traveled and used. So speaking of Atlanta, Dawsonville sits about 32 miles north of Atlanta. So you can get to the city, and it's going to take you a good hour or so to get down there, hour and a half depending upon traffic. And as we know, traffic can be quite a nightmare on 400, so just be warned. They've expanded and expanded, and they're probably always going to be expanding, and there's always going to be traffic there. Now, despite the fact that Dawsonville has such a great location and has nearly doubled its population, home prices are still pretty affordable, comparatively speaking. So when we have people that are looking for, like, where can my money go pretty far, we are going to look in Dawsonville as one of those great places. The median sales price has inched its way up to $415,000 now, but if we compare that to Cumming, which is just 20 miles down south, that median price is $571,000. That is a big difference. Surprisingly enough, the median sales price in Gainesville dropped in July to $375,000, so it's on the pricier side of Gainesville, just comparing those stats for the past 2 months. Now, there's currently not a ton of inventory in Dawsonville, at least at the time of filming this video. There's only 118 houses listed on the MLS system. You'll find that many of the homes are older houses built in the 70s and 80s. Lots of gorgeous Southern style homes. In fact, there's even a home listed that currently was built in 1836. Yes, 1836. That is crazy. Of course, just like about every other town here in North Georgia, there are new developments going on all the time. So it is definitely a population where builders are building out more communities there, and we are seeing a boom of new development. Now, Dawsonville definitely has its quirks, like the fact that the Georgia Racing Hall of Fame and Dawsonville Moonshine Distillery are both attached to City Hall. It's a little interesting, right? The museum's curator says this is probably the only city hall in the universe where you can come in and pay your water bill, visit the Georgia Racing Hall of Fame to see how stock cars get turned into NASCARs, and then you can go right across the hallway and visit a moonshine distillery to see moonshine being made, and they'll even give you a taste. NASCAR drivers Bill and Chase Elliott are from Dawsonville, and they still live in the area, hence the Georgia Racing Hall of Fame. The town holds moonshine festivals and race car parades and car shows at the City Hall / Moonshine Distillery. They have that all the time all throughout the year, especially in the fall. Dawsonville definitely has a southern feel to it, not quite as developed, or how should I say, maybe uppity feel as maybe Alpharetta or Milton has. I mean, if you have a moonshine festival and the Racing Hall of Fame, it's gotta be a little bit country, right? So to answer the question, why are so many people moving to Dawsonville? I think the main reason that is driving people to look in Dawsonville is that they're kind of wanting to get away from all of the overcrowding that is happening, and definitely the affordability of Dawsonville is driving that. There's a lot of growth and development that is attracting a lot of new businesses and jobs, and people are looking for more affordable homes. So your money is definitely going to go a little bit further in Dawsonville. The location, like I said, is great. And I have to add, they have a restaurant called Freddy's. It's a fast food restaurant, and they serve custard and hamburgers. Gainesville does not have one. There's not one in Flowery Branch, Beaufort, or Alpharetta. Y'all, you've got to stop into Freddy's whenever you are checking out Dawsonville. Not only do they have great hamburgers and custards, but you have to have their onion rings. They are perfection. So not only does your money stretch further, you also have really great restaurants that are in Dawsonville as well, and you have the gorgeous scenic backgrounds all surrounding Dawsonville, and it is definitely something that you need to put on your list if this at all sounds any appealing to you. So what do you think? Does the combination of mountains and lake living make you want to consider Dawsonville as a new possible town to consider? Of course, if you're considering Dawsonville, you probably also want to make sure you check out Cumming, and go ahead and check out Gainesville and compare it to that as well.